I'm Sue O'Connell, and I would threaten to cancel my next trip to North Carolina, but I don't have one planned. But the problem isn't that North Carolina lacks appeal as a tourist destination. I'm told the state can be lovely at this time of year, but what's going on as a result of the state's latest action against transgender people isn't pretty. I'll debate North Carolina's bathroom law later in the show with my guest, Andrew Beckwith of the Massachusetts Family Institute. But tonight's top story is a controversy in the presidential campaign, and by controversy, I mean the latest Donald Trump craziness. Trump's campaign manager has been charged with assault. Steve Handelsman sums it up.
Trump says he will not fire his trusted campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski, who Trump said is being badly maligned.
How can anybody be charged? She was actually, if you look at her, in my book, and according to a lot of people, she's grabbing at me. And he's acting as an intermediary and trying to block her from doing that.
But police charged Lewandowski with battery based on this newly released surveillance video from March 8th, showing Lewandowski rushing to get between reporter Michelle Fields and Trump and pulling her away as she tried to ask a question. Police say Fields' arm showed a, quote, grabbing-type injury.
A criminal situation over that?
Days later, Trump put Lewandowski in the yellow tie on stage for praise.
Could Trump have a point about whether grabbing is arrest-worthy? My expert is NECN legal analyst Michael Coyne. He's dean of the Massachusetts School of Law. You want to make a point. It's not assault, it's battery.
It's battery. Most people do confuse that.
Because we say assault and battery.
Right, but it's the touching. It's the offensive touching that really constitutes the battery here. She wasn't in fear, but she was battered.
Yeah, I once saw somebody put their hand over another person's mouth, and the police said, we can arrest you for that for battery. So that's what we're talking about here.
That is what we're talking about.
You know, what do you think?
I think it is a battery. I've looked at the video. I've seen the bruises on her arms. It is an unwanted touching that she didn't give permission for. Is it a little technical, as some people are suggesting? Maybe. But our mothers were right. Keep your hands to yourself, and it is a criminal action.
We are in this heated campaign season, even if it wasn't Donald Trump. Secret Service is there, state police are usually there, local police are there. He does warrant having Secret Service defenders just so something like this doesn't happen. Why is it that she's any different from anybody else who might have gone after or gone toward a candidate?
Well, by all accounts, though, she was not a threat. What's interesting, I think, about the defense and the dialogue I'm hearing now from the Trump campaign and the like is originally this just didn't happen at all. Now it seems to shift to, just as most things do, is, well, if it happened, he was defending him, and next it'll be that she was somehow attacking him. That's not what the video indicates. She was asking him a question. She did, in fact, have a recorder within her hand and approached him. But there was no threat. No one suggested in the first 2 weeks after this happened that anyone felt threatened or that he was defending. It was an outright denial that anything took place.
Let me tell you a crazy story. When I was backstage at the Exeter Town Hall interviewing Donald Trump, after going through layers and layers and layers of security, there was a knife in the wall. Okay, I had a press pass. If for some reason I was not me and I went after Donald Trump, even with my press pass, would they not have to defend him in some way? And you know, in these presidential campaigns, how can you deem who is a threat and who isn't a threat?
Well, you deem it by their actions and who they are. Frankly, you probably did pose more of a threat to him than the reporter in Florida. But you have to look at what took place. Yes, realistically, if she had come at him in an aggressive fashion, if in fact she did pose a threat, then self-defense or defense of others would be a legitimate argument here. But that's not what took place. I mean, we've got video. We understand what the circumstances were. It was to some extent a press scrum. There is going to be some contact. There are going to be some touching that takes place. That's beyond what took place here. He aggressively grabs her arm, pulls it to the point where her arm is bruised, and under the circumstances, that's a battery. It's a misdemeanor battery, but a misdemeanor still carries with it a potential year in jail. Not likely to happen here.
Yeah. So what should happen, or what will happen? He'll go to court. he was arrested or he was detained? You know, there's different reports there.
Yeah, that's really a distinction without a difference. He is being charged criminally with battery. Whether he appeared voluntarily at the police station, whether there is in fact a warrant out for him, or whether that somehow the police asked him to come in. Regardless, he is now being charged with battery. There will be an arraignment on that charge. What really should happen, and that's what's unfortunate that I've seen again already, Trump is saying, well, you never settle this type of case. This is precisely the type of case that should be settled. You don't litigate it to death like most people would take a step back, say, I made a mistake, I shouldn't have touched you, with an apology, and common sense allow us to move on. And that's what really should happen. But unfortunately, it may be what has taken place in many other pieces of litigation. We're going to see what we talked about the last time I was here, a scorched earth defense, likely a protracted battle.
He's already saying that, you know, her story changed after she realized how many cameras there were. You know, we're going to keep you busy coming back.